Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. Lessons from a Stoic Emperor for Modern Life. In a palace in Rome nearly 2,000 years ago, one of the most powerful men in the world engaged in a surprising practice, writing reminders to himself about virtuous living. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the vast Roman Empire, left in his meditations a treasure of Stoic wisdom that remains astonishingly relevant for us in the 21st century. What makes this ancient statesman's personal journal so special? Perhaps it's that while governing an empire in crisis, he remained more concerned with governing himself. Precisely the lesson we need to rediscover today. We live in an age of infinite distractions, where anxiety seems the malady of our times and many feel lost, adrift in existential uncertainty. Marcus Aurelius's pages offer an antidote to this modern condition. Stoicism, the philosophy he practiced, isn't about suppressing emotions or living coldly, but about developing emotional resilience and mental clarity. Imagine facing daily challenges with the same serenity an emperor maintained when confronting barbarian invasions and political crises. This is the promise of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. One of the emperor philosopher's central lessons is that we're disturbed not by events themselves, but by our interpretations of them. In a world where social media amplifies every crisis and news seems perpetually catastrophic, this perspective proves revolutionary. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Recognize this, and you will find strength. How many of our daily anxieties might be relieved if we truly internalize this truth? The Stoic Emperor also invites us to a practice that could transform our relationship with time, the premeditation of adversities. Rather than fearing the future or agonizing over potential hardships, he suggested confronting them mentally beforehand, not as pessimistic exercise, but as a way to realize we're more resilient than we imagine. When we rationally anticipate challenges, we recognize most fears are magnified by our minds. This technique proves particularly valuable in our era of economic, political, and even existential uncertainties. Another pillar of Marcus Aurelius's philosophy is focusing on what truly depends on us. In a world valuing external results, likes, promotions, material possessions, the emperor reminds us the only thing truly within our control are our choices and attitudes. If you are distressed by anything external, he wrote, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. How often do we exhaust ourselves trying to control the uncontrollable, when we could invest that energy in transforming our inner perspective? The practice of gratitude, so popular today in personal development circles, also lay at the heart of Marcus Aurelius's reflections. He began his days recalling the qualities of people around him and lessons he could learn from them, even from those who irritated him. In an age where complaining seems many people's national pastime, this exercise of finding value in all experiences and people proves radically transformative. The emperor would mentally thank challenges, seeing them as opportunities to practice patience, understanding, or other virtues. The second major lesson from the Meditations we must address is the concept of a more fatty love of fate. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whatever happens to you has been prepared for you since eternity." This profound acceptance isn't passive resignation, but rather powerful engagement with reality. In modern life, where we cultivate the illusion that we can and should control everything, this perspective brings liberating relief. Rather than fighting inevitable circumstances, we learn to embrace them as material for our growth. One of Marcus Aurelius's most counterintuitive exercises is negative visualization, imagining losing what we value. Initially seeming morbid, it's precisely the opposite. By mentally contemplating life's impermanence, we come to more deeply cherish what we presently have. In a world obsessed with accumulating more possessions, more experiences, more achievements, this practice helps find contentment in the here and now. How many of our anxious strivings would ease if we truly internalized that all is transient? Relationships occupy central place in the emperor's reflections. In particularly moving passage, he writes, "Man was born to help others, and when he helps or benefits others as much as he can, he fulfills his mission." In an increasingly individualistic society where success is often measured by personal accomplishments, this vision of interdependence and service offers necessary counterpoint. Marcus Aurelius saw every human interaction as opportunity to practice patience, kindness, or teaching, especially with those who challenge us. Death, a topic many avoid, was constant meditation for Marcus Aurelius. His memento mori, remember you must die, wasn't morbid exercise, but called to live more intensely and purposefully. Don't behave as if you were going to live 10,000 years, he warned. In modern times, where entertainment and consumer culture constantly distract us from finitude, this death awareness may be the antidote to life of procrastination and regret. When we keep mortality before our eyes, priorities naturally clarify. Simplicity was another virtue dear to the emperor philosopher. While ruling history's most powerful empire, he cultivated deliberately modest lifestyle. How little is needed for happy life, he observed. In our world of rampant consumption and social comparison amplified by digital media, this lesson resonates with special force. Marcus Aurelius reminds us true freedom lies not in possessing much, but in needing little. How many of our exhausting pursuits would prove unnecessary if we embraced this truth? Finally, the meditations offer cosmic perspective that could heal many modern anxieties. Marcus Aurelius saw all events, even most painful, as part of greater whole, an ordered and intelligent nature. All things are intertwined, he wrote, and the bond is sacred. In our age of fragmentation and isolation, where many feel disconnected from greater meaning, this holistic vision may restore sense of belonging and purpose. Not matter of religious faith, but recognizing we're part of something transcending us. Words Marcus Aurelius wrote in military camp during Roman Empire's twilight still speak directly to our hearts 2 millennia later. They invite us to life of virtue, not through moral rigidity, but as path to true inner freedom. In an increasingly complex and challenging world, the emperor philosopher Stoicism offers safe harbor, not to escape reality, but to face it with courage, wisdom, and equanimity. His meditations are ultimately timeless reminder. While we can't control what happens to us, we can always choose who we become through what happens to us. Marcus Aurelius teaches us the subtle art of dancing with fate rather than fighting it. In our anxious and hyper-connected age, this ancient wisdom offers an existential anchor, accepting what cannot be changed to act better on what can be transformed, the mind itself. The good life would not be, therefore, in the accumulation of goods or successes, but in the constant alignment between our actions and our higher principles. If you like this content or theme, click like and do not forget to subscribe to the channel and also share with someone who is also in need of listening to this content.